Welcome back to AFT Die Season 6. It is round 14. We've got match of the round, Richmond versus Brisbane Lions at the MCG. But we've got the first game of the round, which is Port Adelaide versus Melbourne at Adelaide Oval. Let's go to the first quarter. And the first quarter's nearly done. So the first quarter's done. Port Adelaide, they kicked 1-4 to Melbourne 1-1. Let's go to this second quarter. Second quarter, Melbourne kicked 6-3 to Port Adelaide 1-5. And at half time, Port Adelaide are down by 25 points. All right, let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Melbourne, they kicked 5-3 to Port Adelaide 2-3. And at three-quarter time, Melbourne are leading by 43 points. Let's go to the last quarter. Last quarter, Melbourne, they kicked 6-2 to Port Adelaide 2-5. But in the end, Melbourne have won by 64 points. Port Adelaide are still on the bottom of the ladder. Final scores, Port Adelaide 6-17-53 to Melbourne 18-9-117. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Carlton versus North Melbourne at MRVL Stadium. We've got Carlton, they kicked 4-26 to North Melbourne 1-6-12. Carlton are up by 14 points. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, North Melbourne, they kick 4-1 to Carlton 3-1. And at halftime, Carlton are leading by 8 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, North Melbourne, they kick 6-5 to Carlton 2-4. And at three-quarter time, North Melbourne are leading by 17 points. Let's go to the last quarter to see who wins. And in the end, North Melbourne have won by 25 points. Final scores, Carlton 12-13-85 to North Melbourne 16-14-110. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Fremantle versus Hawthorn at Optus Stadium. We've got Hawthorn, they've kicked 4-3, 27 to Fremantle 1-8. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, Hawthorn, they've kicked 3-5 to Fremantle 2-1. And at halftime, Fremantle are down by 29 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Fremantle, they've kicked 6-3 to Hawthorn 3-4. And at three-quarter time, Hawthorn are leading by 12 points. Let's go to the last quarter. And the last quarter, Fremantle won the quarter. They kicked 5-2 to Hawthorn 4-3. But in the end, Hawthorn have won by 7 points. Final scores, Fremantle 14-8-92, Hawthorn 14-15-99. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Geelong versus Adelaide Crows at GMHBA Stadium. We've got Adelaide Crows. They kicked 5-1 to Geelong 3-3. Adelaide are up by 10 points. Geelong, second quarter, they've kicked 5-6 to Adelaide 2-1. Geelong are leading by 13 points at halftime. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, very even. Geelong won it by 2 points. They kicked 6-6 to Adelaide 6-4. Adelaide down by 15 points. Let's go to the last quarter. And in the end, Geelong have won by 32 points. They kicked 4-3 to Adelaide 1-4. Final scores, Geelong 18-18-126 to Adelaide 14-10-94. All right, let's go to the next game. It is St Kilda versus Essendon at MRVL Stadium. We've got Essendon, they've kicked 5-1 to St Kilda 1-6. 19 points the difference to Essendon. Second quarter very even. Essendon won it by 2 points. They kicked 1 goal 6 to St Kilda 1 goal 4. 21 points still the difference deficit for St Kilda. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Essendon, they've kicked 6 goals 6 to St Kilda 1 goal 5. And St Kilda are down by 52 points. Let's go to the last quarter of this game. Essendon, they kick 4 goals 4 to St Kilda 1 goal 2. And in the end, Essendon have won by 72 points. Final score, St Kilda 4-17-41 to Essendon 16-17-113. All right. Let's go to the next game. It is match of the round. It's Richmond versus Brisbane at the MCG. We've got Richmond. They've kicked 3 goals 1 to Brisbane 1 goal 4. 9 points to Richmond. Second quarter, Brisbane, they've kicked 6 goals 6 to Richmond 2 goals 4. And at halftime, Brisbane are leading by 17 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Brisbane, they've kicked 6 goals 2 to Richmond 4 goals 1. And at three-quarter time, Brisbane are leading by 30 points. They're going for 6 wins in a row. Let's go to the last quarter. Last quarter, Brisbane, they've kicked 4 goals 3 to Richmond 3 goals 5. But in the end, Brisbane have won by 34 points. Final scores, Richmond 12 goals 11-83 to Brisbane 17 goals 15-117. Let's go to the next game. It is Western Bulldogs versus Gold Coast at Marvel Stadium. 1 point the difference to Gold Coast. They kick 5 goals 4 to Western Bulldogs 5 goals 3. Let's go to the second quarter. Second quarter, Western Bulldogs, they've kicked 4 goals 1 to Gold Coast 2 goals 1. And at halftime, Western Bulldogs are leading by 11 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, Gold Coast, they've kicked 6 goals 5 to Western Bulldogs 1 goal 3. And at three-quarter time, Gold Coast are up by 21 points. Let's go to the last quarter. Last quarter, Bulldogs, they kicked 4 goals 6 to Gold Coast 1 goal 5. But in the end, Gold Coast have just got up by 2 points. Final scores, Western Bulldogs 14-13-97 to Gold Coast 14-15-99. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Giants versus West Coast Eagles at Giant Stadium. We've got Giants kicking in the first quarter 6 goals 5-41 to West Coast 2 goals 5-17. 24 points the difference to Giants. Giants have kicked 4 goals 4 in that second quarter to West Coast 3-5. Giants are up by 29 points. Let's go to the third quarter. Third quarter, very even. Giants won it by 2 points. They kicked 3 goals 3 to the West Coast Eagles 3 goals 1. Giants are up by 31 points. Let's go to the last quarter. Last quarter, West Coast won it by 1 point. West Coast, they kicked 1 goal 2 to Giants 1 goal 1. But in the end, Giants have won by 30 points. Giants full. Final score is 14-13-97 to West Coast, 9-13-67. All right, let's go to the last game. Collingwood versus Sydney Swans at the MCG. Collingwood, they've kicked 4 goals 1 to Sydney 3 goals 2. 5 points the difference. Collingwood's way. Second quarter, Collingwood, they've kicked 4 goals 5 to Sydney 2 goals 6. 16 points the difference. Collingwood's in front. Third quarter, Collingwood, they've kicked 6 goals 2 to Sydney 4 goals 5. And three-quarter time, Collingwood are up by 35 or 25 points. Let's go to the last quarter. Last quarter, Collingwood have kicked 6 goals 2 to Sydney 2 goals 2. But in the end, Collingwood have won by 49 points. Final scores, Collingwood 20 goals 10, 130 to Sydney 11 goals 15, 81. All right. That concludes round 14. We've seen St Kilda get beaten by Essendon by 72 points. They were 11 wins in a row. So they've lost their 3rd win for the season. They're still on top with a game clear. Brisbane are the informed side. They've won 6 in a row. They are 5th on the ladder. They're only 2 games off top. The next match of the round is Brisbane Lions versus St Kilda in round 15 at the Gabba. So it's 1st versus 5th. We've got Melbourne as the number 1 offense team and West Coast the number 1 defense team. We've got Port Adelaide still on the bottom of the ladder. The top 4 is St Kilda on top, game clear with Melbourne, Hawthorn on 40 points, and then Richmond in the top 4 on 36 points. And then we've got Brisbane in 5th spot, 36 points. West Coast Eagles with 32. They are losing grip on the top 8. And then we've got Sydney in 7th place on 32 points. And then Carlton are in the 8 on percentage with North Melbourne outside. All right, that concludes round 14. We'll see you next time on Monday, the 9th of September for round 15.